Hey everybody, it is the 22nd of January 2025. This is Trendy John from Simpler Trading. We're going to go over a few things and talk about SPX you know, specifically and kind of talk to you how I trade it off of the ES futures chart. So every morning we wake up, we always have the ES and the NASDAQ futures ready, intraday chart. We have where to get long, where to pull up stops, where to short, and so forth. And our charts work very, very well. So for example, you are going to see right here this morning on the ESH25, and I'll be bringing up this chart specifically because this is what we're trading off of. All right. So the intraday chart is right here, and we have a red zone. We may have some gray zones and so forth. But far as today was concerned, our target or level of take profit was around 6136. Now you can verify this. Not only is this in the room itself, but the last 2 days I decided to push this content out on Twitter so that you guys could see it. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So we're going to come over here to my profile, and you are going to see a couple trades that I'm in, of course. Wednesday. So good morning, everybody. A continuation as we stay long, looking for ES futures to see 6142 with caution at 6136. So that 6136 is where I expect caution. Now, what can I do here? That's what I want to talk to you about. A couple different ways to trade this. So the first trade that I took today was first, I sold profits. We went long yesterday and sold on this morning's gap up. And, looking at this, obviously I could have held it and sold for a lot more profits up towards 6136. We had Friday's expiration for SPX calls. Either way, we made 100%, not a bad trade at all. But what we're seeing now is that, price has pushed up into this red zone, and I want to show you what that looks like. So here we are. We get very close. No reason to be a D for a T, and if you don't know what that means, look it up. That's one of John Carter's famous sayings, and I love to use it as well. Right now, what we're seeing is a pullback, right? So one of or some of the multiple trades that I've put on so far today, I want to share with you what that looks like around SPX so that you can get a good feel or understanding what I'm doing. So when the market open, we talk about like risk on, risk off, and so forth. And what I'm finding helpful is for, to make sure that my content is or makes sense to someone who is swinging trades and or someone who's just coming in from intraday perspective or just trying to scalp trades, right? There's always multiple different traders. I want to show you a pair of trades that I have on right now. I'm going to detach my option screen and bring it over so that we can kind of talk about this. All right, so again, I've already sold the butterflies that I alerted out this morning for profits, but right now, what I have on for a 0 DTE is basically, this is a iron fly, okay? Not to be confused with an iron condor. So let's just say IF for iron fly, and then we have ourselves an iron condor. Now, don't make this too complicated. An iron fly, the only difference is that the strike is shared. And what do I mean by that? So if we come across here, the strike that I'm selling is shared, okay? So 6,100 on both sides I am selling. Let's take this out of the way so this doesn't confuse you, okay? This is just a cell that I have in, okay? So my idea today is that SPX wants to settle around 6,100, okay? So the alert that went out, we are trying to pin 6,100 on a butterfly. I've already taken profits. The longer you wait, probably the better. I mean, it's trading at 60.94. I bought the 60.90, sold the 6,100, and bought the 61.10. right? So that's the trade I had on. And the closer we get to the close of the market, this is Central Time, which is 3 o'clock for close, the better these look as long as price is above 60.90. All right. Now that's a lesson just on the butterfly itself. Now the trade that I have is I'm saying that we still settle. So I took some profits, but I'm saying that price, at the end of the day will still bounce back up and come closer to the 6100, but I'm selling them on both sides. So what I'm looking for in this particular trade is for the value of 6100 to basically melt, to decay, as we would say. So I'm looking for price to decay, and I need price to go up towards 6100. Now you'll notice that the strikes that I sold versus the strikes that I bought are very tight, 5 wide to be exact. And this is like trying to park a Cybertruck in a motorcycle parking spot. Not a lot of traders can do this. I'm known for doing these because my levels work so well. Now, this is not a guarantee, but what I love about a tight spread like this is that, after you make profits, and we made profits on a wider type spread trade, now you could take some of your profits and put it into a lower probability trade, but you can still collect a lot of money. So, how do you do this? So, when you do anything that is 5 wide, you're looking at taking a credit up to $5. If we were to do 10 wide, it'd be $10 and so forth. So, whatever you pay, right, whatever I paid for this 5 wide, all right, and I think I paid about, I don't know, 40 or 50 bucks. So that means I'm taking in a credit of about $450. That means if I'm right, all right, and the market starts to move up towards 6100 before close, these are going to really decay, and I am trying to buy back the credit, right? I took in about 450 or 420, something like that. I will be trying to buy back half of the position at $2.10. Okay. So for anybody that's new out there, just think opposite. Most traders are buying to open, right? They buy a call and they're looking for price to go up. What we're doing is selling. So we're looking at for in this case, we're looking for price to go up towards 6100, or sorry, yeah, towards 6100, but we're also looking for it to stall there. So for anyone that's actually buying these 6100s, we're actually looking for them to decay. So for example, the 6100 right here is going for $10. Okay. And by the end of close, I want to see these things basically sitting at about 50 cents or so right before the close. Now, again, the 5 wides are very, very difficult. Okay. And, this is more like a fun trade after you've made, quite a bit of money and you're just looking at taking some profits. Okay. So this is the first lesson. This is called an iron fly, and it's a very tight one. Okay. So low risk, high return, low probability. Okay. And again, we're just looking for 6100. Now let's go ahead and take a look at my next set of trades here. And this is going to be for tomorrow. So overall, if you remember, I'm bullish for price to push up into 60.42. Now, after the last couple days of us moving up, this might not work out so well because I could just see sideways action, but I still want to explain the trade to you. All right. So overall, I'm looking for ES futures to go up to 61.40, 61.45, somewhere in there. So what I've done here is the same thing. This is an iron fly that's at 61.15. So I sold the 61.15s, but they're skewed. Notice that they're in the money here on the put side. Okay. So what this does is it reduces a lot of risk, instead of selling out of the money. Iron condors and so forth. If it goes against you, you get your butt handed to you. Okay, these are fun. You could still lose money on them, but they're fun because the risk to reward, it's great, but also the risk is not bad. Now, in most iron flies, what we are looking to do is capture, and again, it depends on how wide they are. So usually what I'm looking at is taking a profit off to trim, and then at max, I'm looking for 20 to 30% of the credit received. Okay. So in this particular trade, the credit received on this iron fly was $18.50. Okay. So 18.50. All right. And these are 25 wide. Okay. 25 wide. So my risk is the difference of 25 minus 18, right? So about 600 and some change. Okay. Now, if we do spike up towards the end of the day and as we get closer, remember these are 1 DTE. So as we spike up closer, if we spike up, not only will I make money on the tighter trade that I showed you earlier, but these over here, what I'm looking for is my concentration is on the side that is in the money. I want these to lose value, just like I was showing you on the 5 wide. Okay. So I want these to lose value, but you can't, this is intrinsic, it's not extrinsic. So we're not able to capitalize on a full credit return. Whereas an iron condor, a traditional iron condor, you could do so. So remember, I'm only trying to take a percentage away from the credit received. And in this case, the credit received is $18 and some change. Okay. So let's just say $18. Well, if I'm trying to get 30% of this, then you can see it's $180 times three. So not bad. Okay. And a lot of times, like if I were to get a quick spike up towards the end of the day, I'll be able to sell this. I'm usually just looking to take $200 to $300 off the trade right in the beginning and then hold on to some and see if we can get close to that 20 to 30% of credit received towards the end. Okay. So those are the top, the first two trades. And then I have something for Monday. So Mondays is more on a bear play. The other two were kind of bullish, right? We're looking for prices to push up towards the end of the day. All right. And down here, this is a little bit different. This is like, hey, I'm going to put a little bit of insurance on and I'm going to do this a lot different. Okay. So look here. This is what we call a call credit spread, and I'm deep in the money. Okay. So somewhere somebody is sitting in these things, I mean, just as happy as can be. All right. Now, this, right, is just a credit spread, but I'm not trading out of the money, right? I'm not like traditional traders will come in and say, well, I don't think that we're going any, further up, and they'll come in here and do something like they'll sell the 6100 and then they'll buy back the 6150 to be safe, right? And these are dangerous. These are dangerous because if you're wrong and the market rips, there's a lot more risk in here. Selling these, all I'm looking for is a pullback, right? Over, let's say, after tomorrow, right? We have some data coming in and so forth. So if I get a nice little spike to the downside, these guys that are really happy sitting in their in the money trades right now, there's nothing that can go wrong, right? So all we're trying to do, we don't want these to go to zero, but again, we're taking in a credit. These are 50 wide, and I took in a credit of 43. Okay, so $43. That means the risk on this, 43 minus 50, that's $700 of risk on this trade. That's the most I can lose. Okay. If I were to get, let's just say 20% of this trade, okay, it's going to be $430 times two. All right. It's about $860. Not bad, right? It's still better than the risk itself. All right. If I were to get 30%, it'd be $430 times three. And again, I don't need anything, significant. I'm just looking to pull money from these guys who are sitting over here. Notice this was at 99 earlier. Well, it's 99.60 by 97. Okay. I just want the value of these calls to break down. All right. So I've just shown you three different types of trades that I've taken on SPX. And I've explained to you what I would like to see. All of these, this is almost like protected with this, but at the same time, I just wanted to show you a different way of approaching the market. And we teach all this here in the SPX room. Well, sorry, let me take that back. I do not necessarily teach it. I'm not teaching in this room. It's alerts only room, but in the trendy trading room, we do teach, and our focus there is education and trades, of course. If you're interested in our rooms, let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So, for example, this is the trendy trading room. And you can see it's really laid out nicely. I feel like it's very simplistic. I used to run my own Discord room before I was bought out. And Discord, although I loved it and I didn't want to see change, after I got used to this platform, I'm here to tell you that this is simplistic. And I love it because I'm a part of simpler trading and I want things to be simple. So in here, we have our API alerts. These are sent to you in real time. Our programmer has been able to patch into our thinkorswim and it goes directly here to the room within milliseconds, right? So everything is in here. And one of the cool things is like when we take a trade, Melissa and I run the trendy trading room in here. You can come in here and, for example, she took UNFI. You can click on here. You can see where she wants to start, where she wants to trim, where she would add into this trade and so forth. And you as a trader have the ability to also ask questions in here like, hey, Melissa, you know, what is your stop or whatever, even though she has it in here. Okay, but you can ask questions and she answers in there. Moving up, you guys can see that the cool thing also, like for example, she got into TSLL. I could see it on the screen right here. She got in here, it pushed up nicely to the upside. But you can come in here, same thing. This is her chart. You can see where she started, where she wants to go, and so forth. All right. And moving on up, we take all sorts of different trades. All right. Like here's my equity trade. I went ahead and sold some here today at 145. I think we had got in around 140 or something like that. Here's my Netflix trade that I sold. You can come in here. You can see, if people um, they can comment or say whatever. We had bought these Netflix at $2 and some change and sold at 8.5. Tesla, we have all sorts of different trades. Here is the trade that we put on for Netflix going into yesterday. You guys can see my trades look a little bit different. I went like the extra step and I have this right here. So this is for like beginner traders. Again, we're not financial advisors, but one thing that we do, or one thing that my alert does, is we take it a step further. You can actually click on this and it will copy to your clipboard. And this is really useful in the SPX room because it allows people to see what the trade setup looks like, right? So a lot of times when you get an order in here, let me show you an example, right? If we come down here to the SPX room, right, and you look at my trades, right, you may not know how to, what they look like structurally inside thinkorswim. And our traders, all they have to do is click here, it's copied to the clipboard, and if you run thinkorswim, then you know the rest. All right. And here's a trade that we took yesterday. We bought at 3, sold this morning at $6. And like I said, that thing's probably doing a lot better. This was January 24th on SPX, and these were the 6125 calls. And those 6125s right now are going for $7.80. So yeah, they're doing a little bit better, not too much. And then when I took the trade, you can see right here, and it tells you exactly. And here are like some of the members saying, kind of what they did. Um, I did the 6125 by 6140 spread for $1. Mm-hmm. And yes, so they got their answer and so forth. So, anyways, I just want to share that with you, which is really cool. I mean, I don't know anybody else that's doing API alerts. And, these are very transparent. We have right here is the chat room. And then over here on the right hand side, you have the charts that you can look at. Like you could just double click. The clarity is really good. Everything's perfect in here, so you can kind of just watch off of this, okay? And we do go live every morning, 30 minutes before the open, to go over our plans for the day, and then we teach throughout the day. We have scheduled times and so forth in the Trendy room, and then the SPX room, just so that we're clear. SPX room, even though I'm on the mic in the morning for the plan, this is not a learning room, even though we teach a lot inside the main chat and so forth. This is an alerts only room. So if you're interested, this is definitely a great bang for your money. I'm trading a lot of different spreads, but also straight up calls and puts, more spreads than just straight up. But we also give, you know, the plan for the day so that you understand exactly what you want to do at the levels and so forth. Okay. So again, that is the SPX room. All right, and this is the trendy room. And that pretty much sums up my overall analysis for right now on the SPX. But also, I hope you guys learned a little bit about how to trade these. If you want any more information, just let me know. Again, these are not traditional ways of doing iron flies. This is a fun way to do it, and we have a lot of people making some really good money doing this type of trading. But also, it's not limited to that. I want to make sure everybody knows. So, and it's fun. It really is. And SPX, by the way, is cash settled. So for new traders, get yourself a cash account. You don't have to worry about exercise or anything like that. You won't get exercise. You can let them cash settle. You could just let them go to zero if that's your thing. There's a lot of different ways to approach it. So if any of you guys are interested, please come see me and Melissa over at simplertrading.com. We can't wait to trade with you. Have an amazing day.